Open up my phone for rain, got tinfoil in my face. His earlobes change, just smiling right, that ain't the same. A fella drew a circle round a blurred teen string. Yeah, plum, it's a coupon code for Truth Machine. Is he Joe, is he Bo, is he version 2.0? Internet said, son, at this point I'd not let her go. Deep, fake, cheap, take, everybody's getting bold. We don't need proof no more, we just need something to scroll. One clip says Biden Classic, next one says Biden Live. Been Biden for my turbo, showing up by Saturday night. Somebody swears they saw him blinking robot time. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to drill and keep my time in line. Is he Joe, is he Bo, is he version 2.0? Internet said, son, at this point why not let her go? Deep, fake, cheap, take, everybody's getting bold. They don't need proof no more, they just need something to scroll. His face and folks scream hologram. Camera angle changes and it's body double mail. If he causes signal loss, if he laughs at CGI, if he waves with two hands, well buddy, so did I. We got truth by screenshot, facts by fit. Source my buddy's Barbaretta, post and filtered hit. If reality don't sparkle, they add a little spice, cause panic pays and clicks pay twice. Is he Joe, is he Bo, is he version 2.0? Internet said, son, at this point why not let her go? Deep, fake, cheap, take, everybody's getting bold. We don't need proof no more, we just need something to scroll. Yeah.
And good morning, everyone. Need a little light on the situation. My goodness gracious. Oh, indeed. Boy, you done went German on me, eh? Morning, Damien. And yeah, here we are. It is now Thursday, February the 12th. And this is one of those mornings, times, days, whatever you want to call it, to where I'm not going to say they're playing with the space-time continuum model or whatever, but man, the seconds are moving fast, I swear to you. Now, I knew I was cutting it a little close this morning, but I was outside with Jack the Wonder Dog and Alicia, and just chatting about things. I knew I was running tight, right? But I had 3 minutes just disappear. Now, blink of an eye. It was crazy. Hence why our lead-in song actually opened the broadcast on, because I was like, well, crap, I got, rah! And so I ran in and I just went ahead and hit the button and just finished everything up right before I got on. It was nuts. Still got to do that part and turning off the box so it's not interrupting our conversation. So what's going on, Jim? Well, I'll tell you. Spending a lot more time out at the Hotel Seville and the grill at the Seville, and it's really great. It honestly is, and I mean that with all sincerity. It could possibly be like one of the most interesting and rewarding experiences. Just weird. Yeah, and time, I understand the construct of that time is when it comes to, it's just a way for us humans to be able to kind of map things out a little bit and then have other people use it against us, But wow. Anyway. Wow. But the lead-in song was going to be yesterday's lead-in song because I'm telling you, you cannot make this up at this point when it comes to the public space and the things that people are talking about. It's like, this was the stuff that was relegated to we inside of the tinfoil hat community. And now then everybody's in our zone and it's all the mainstream. But here's the kicker. We were speculating, pretty sure, with research that was being done, but now they're playing it out. And it's like, what the hell is going on? And then, like the Biden clone thing, that came back up because it was made mention in those e-files and all that. And I'm like, they're really going there with this? Because I personally, when the talk started happening, but I myself had seen that the former president-ish was different, not right. Things were weird, you know. But I would chalk a lot of it up. You should totally go down to the Seville for lunch today. Seriously, the food is really good, and again, the prices are right. And it's one of those things to where, um, you know, they are what they are when it comes to like just the cost of everything. But Michael has priced everything on the menu in a very reasonable and affordable way. I mean, it really is, all things considered. You will get a very quality meal with you know, more so that is comparable to anything of the fast food joints, and that's not comparing the food in any manner to that. But it's you'll get something good for your money. You really will, and perhaps make some really fun memories in the process. Because again, the staff is truly the star of the show, and that's one of the things that inside of the whole macrocosm that I'm building out for the marketing and promotion side of all of it. That I'm really happy and thrilled to be throwing a spotlight on. And it's cool because again, this is the one role that I'm playing, which is weird, because had to play so many roles all the time for so long, that to be able to just focus in on this one aspect, which is big. I mean, it really is. I've created a system that no mere mortal would normally ever dare. But you know what? I'm tempered for it after all these years of doing everything at once. So I'm man, lot to do, and worth it, because again, the staff is great, and the client, the customers that are coming in, like just the locals coming for the regulars and everything, they're all having a good time when they're there, and I'm genuinely enjoying watching all of this on a day in day out basis. That it's just awesome. It really is. So yeah, so I will make sure, Damien. I'm not, again. I'm kind of like, I'm not all over the place, but I'm kind of floating around a lot. So let me know what time you're going to be there. I will make sure that I keep Barney with me, so that I make sure to give. I'll have Barney in case we cross paths today, and I can get him to you, because you need Barney. You created him. He's your baby, and he's pink right there. But you can fix that if you like. What else is going on? Make sure, it's just wild. This morning, I'm telling you, I'm just looking at the clock going, okay, what's going on here? It's like somebody's hit the fast forward button on things. But yeah, and so in all of this now, it's a matter of figuring out exactly where my efforts are taking me on my day to day. Because again, well, I've been fortunate now to be able to have something to focus in on again specifically, and that is with the marketing and promotion of the Hotel Seville and the whole complex and such. So that's awesome. So the coffee talk is going to stay, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so probably after 12, cool. So, but yeah, the coffee talk will stay exactly as it is, and but I'm going to structure a little bit more, because I want to start inviting more folks to join us in the mornings, if they are so inclined to. So I'm going to put some more update things together for what's happening out at the Seville, because um, again, it's not hard to explain, but at the same time, it's like, it might be hard for some to believe. But that, I don't care. You'll see it as we go. But the big thing is that at the end of the day, the Hotel Seville will be its own network television channel in its scope and programming. That's the best way I can put it. To where, as I'm collecting and creating stories and putting it all together, packaged up into a 24/7 live stream on YouTube, that will serve as the broadcast station, because the local television stations, I don't know. I could possibly do something there with either K26 or the people who own what was formerly TKO, but I don't really want to. Maybe with K26, just because I like the Reynolds guys, and we've got history, but I don't know. I'm kind of just on the fence with that. And radio, I don't know. I'm a multimedia guy, and I wouldn't mind having a lot of different aspects going on with stuff, but I'm not sure. Need to put some thought into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a weekly music show on 94.9 KHOZ could very well be a good thing. But I just got to work some numbers on that because I'm not sure yet. I'll figure that out. But anyway, yeah. So it's all in a growing process now, and I'm very very happy with it. So, but I want to make sure that any and everyone who joins the Coffee Talk in the morning knows what's going on out there, because it doesn't matter if you're here or anywhere around the world. Um, the whole complex out there has something to offer. And yesterday when I was popped in, there were some folks checking out from Iowa, and just nice folks. You know, most folks are, and nice folks. And I chatted them up, just finding out what they thought about the place and how their stay was. And they were pretty cool. They were an older couple, and older meaning probably late 60s ish. Could have been a little older, don't know, but they were happy. So they had spunk and spry, so they were good. And anyway, I love getting the perspective of people who are coming through here. And they were driving from Iowa down to Hot Springs and found the Hotel Seville and did their overnight stay before they got back in the car and jumped down to Hot Springs. Um, and I made a couple recommendations. And now it's been a long time since I've been to Hot Springs, long, long, long time. But there are certain little holes there that if they're still there, they're great, and I recommend them to everyone. Like one place is called the Brauerhaus. Speaking of the German that you opened the show with today, Damien, and it was a great place. It's in the underground hot springs part, to where they had built up the street there, and so everything that was on the original um, level, I guess you'd say, but it's now underground. It wasn't originally. They just built up the streets, and that was mainly for the sewage and the drainage. Of course, people go with the mud flood and the Tartarians and all that kind of crazy stuff. But why the hell not? That's probably in the Epstein files too. Yeah. Yeah, the online menu is correct. That is the one that you see. And yeah, and it's a simple menu. And the best part um, about the way the grill at the Seville is growing, anything on the menu is input. And people say, we would like this available. And then Michael will look at it. And if enough people kind of kick in the idea, he'll give it a go. And I think that is wonderful because, again, at the Hotel Seville, we want you here. And that's very sincere. And to do the thing, to get people to want to be there too, is to do the things that people want. It's not hard. It's not like, when you look at business models, again, like the philosophy for AMP Multimedia is, people buy help. That's where your marketing message should be. People buy help. How are you helping them? And myself and Alicia have the skill stack, however you want to look at it, to help people package up that message. How do you help people so they're willing to come buy that help from you? That's it. It's not hard. Yes, they do. Well, I don't know if they do breakfast all day. That I don't know for sure. I need to look into that, but it may be possible, but I can't say. But that's a good question, and I will look into getting that answer. But yeah, but the thing is, they do start breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that's awesome. So you have an all-day restaurant experience from 6 in the morning till 9 o'clock is when the kitchen kind of closes, but the kitchen is still open all the way till midnight for folks who are at the grill at the Seville for the bar aspect. But again, it's not just a bar. That's the thing. The bar is there, yes, but this is, and it's new. It's still a thing where here in this region, folks aren't used to it being a family establishment that happens to have a bar. It really is. It's like last night was awesome with the karaoke. That there was a bus in, looked like from Tennessee, and it was a softball team, and they were staying there. And all the girls on the softball team, I'd figure, your 14 to 16-year-olds, they were hanging out in the restaurant and everything and having the karaoke fun, and they were having a ball, man. And it was fun watching them, and they all just had a good time. And again, it's a family atmosphere with music as a healing force and factor to bring everyone together. And learning last night about DJ Lance putting together the karaoke contest, which is going to be a 5-week run, with the grand prize being studio time for the winner to actually get inside of a real, honest-to-goodness studio to record a track or two. And I think that's fantastic. having done like Ozark Idols over the years with 1, 2, and 3, 1 was the most wonderful because I did it right. And that's the best way I could put it. 2 and 3, I thought I was getting smarter, and I wasn't. So the things of 2 and 3, I'd never do again because I learned don't do these two things. What were those two things? Well, I changed the prize. The prize for like Ozark Idols 1 was simply being a part of a big show, and it was 25 acts. 25 people got up on the stage at the Lyric and just got to perform on the stage with a spotlight on them because they were good and they were having fun, and everyone in the audience had a blast. I mean, it was standing room only. It was wonderful. Then 2 comes along, and I decided, well, let's do something a little different. And so I tied it in with the Harvest Homecoming that year. And the prize on that one was, what the hell did I do there? That one was, I did the recording session, and the problem there was I had let something outside of my direct control. So that was a problem. Not for anyone in particular. I'm not throwing shade at anybody, but when I relinquished the control of what that final thing was to be delivered, things got janky. And then also I goofed up and had it to where the finale was going to be outdoors, and that was a mistake. And why I don't do outdoor things ever. Again, because I've yet to find a time when I book something to be an outdoor thing that the weather in the Ozarks decides that, oh, that sounds like a good idea, Jim. We're going to show up and bring you all seasons in one day. And I'll never forget it because it was October that year, 2010. And that Harvest Homecoming was going to be the Ozark Idols 2 big finale show on the square, outdoors. And we had winter decide to show up in the middle of October. And that morning, we wound up with sleet and snow and everything. Needless to say, you can't do much of an outdoor show on that. Learned that one. So I had to push, reschedule, moved it inside the mall at the time. That was still open at the time. I guess it was 2 weeks later. So it kind of like, it blew the flow. But everybody still showed up, had a good time. But the mall itself, indoors there, sound was hard because just the way sound works inside of a place like that. So it was messy. And then 3 was just an utter disaster. I don't even, I'll own it that it was a disaster, but I'll never ever do any of those things again because I went and got the sponsors and there was going to be a cash prize of all that. I'll never make that mistake again. Don't put money on the table if you don't have to. Seriously, that's my biggest thing because if you're doing something like that, which there's nothing wrong with that, but just make sure you get all your ducks in a row with it. That's the only thing I can offer you there. And I thought I had my ducks in a row, but my ducks were once again outside of my. It sounds like I'm a control freak, but no, just make sure that it's all completely in your control. Because if it's relying on exterior forces, man, shit can go sideways fast. And it did. Anyway, but I don't know. Again, it's like it's an endeavor right now that I'm so excited about it, but I've purposely made the intent and intention of not letting myself get too visibly excited because I scare people, and I don't want to do that, not today. But anyway, and I've got stuff I got to do today because we're still in like got a lot of the backstage stuff that's happening as far as like building out the marketing and promotion messaging and distribution channels, and that's all coming together nicely. But I've also accepted the fact that sometimes you have to move a little slower, and yeah. So, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to move just a little bit slower, and that's going to be all right. And let me make myself a note here. Da, 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 da. Yeah, pardon me, that's kind of rude, but it's one of those things when it hits, you just make the notes, Yep, and I can package it and send it in. Okay, cool. Anyway, lots of wonderful things happening there. And again, Damien, I hope you and the missus do get the chance to try it out and see where there's a lot of other opportunities to come out and have something like Deborah McCallum, I do believe I got her last name pronounced properly. She does a painting thing on Wednesdays that and she's a magnificent artist. And I got a chance to really sit down with her last night and talk to her, to learn more about what she does and why she does. Um, well, I appreciate that, Damien. Thank you. It is. I am very much enthused because, and I'll be honest with you, and I hope everybody in this region sees this, because again, for 18 years that I've been here, um, I've not unintentionally become kind of a public face of things that wasn't really anything I was like shooting for. It's just, but it's also just the nature of the beast. If you're in radio and television and you're doing it right, people know what you're talking about, right? And then the online stuff, of course, it evolved from everything. Um, it's like it was never a responsibility that I was intending, but it became that way because just the way the online world works. So I take it very seriously. I really, really do. I've always done my best to respect the power of the microphone and the transmitter, right? I don't like the idea of sensationalizing anything. And if it is a big deal, then where need be, make it a big deal, you know? And so in that, it's like I know I got eyeballs on me. Whatever, if I crack that camera open, people are paying attention to what I say, and I do not take that lightly, and it doesn't go to my head, because frankly, I loved radio the mostest because radio, while I've had the opportunity to be on, well, as far as in Arkansas for sure, to be on the biggest stations in the state, that had the widest coverage and biggest audiences and all that. Um, but I had an anonymity. While there were live events that I would go out and do, like MC a show, or like the facility, like a bar that was like kind of like the station's bar, like at Kiss 96 FM, it was BJ's Star-Studded Honky Tonk down in Little Rock, right? So I would go out there for those things, and do the thing, and it was great. But I made it a point after I got the young man's rush of it all out of my system, and grew to mature into the responsibility and the role that I was really playing and understanding it. Yeah, well, I appreciate that, David. Thank you. I always thought I had more of a face for radio, but radio was great because it was still an anonymous thing in that. My voice carried out and so on and so forth, but I could walk down the street and it was cool until I put on the gimmick. And then back then it was cool because at that time in the mid to late 90s, it was all about the flame throwing country stuff. So, and I did it up. I had the hat and the brush popper shirts and all that because you played a role. And anybody who didn't understand that, um, it's sort of like going from like the the late stages, well, throughout the 80s and into the 90s when it came to like the glam rock hair band stuff. It's like you stood out because you were the guy on the stage and that's what you did. Same thing when the way I saw it when it comes to being a personality on any entertainment platform, you got to do it. You got to play the game because people appreciate it. It's not an ego thing. It shouldn't be an ego thing, but it's people appreciate the dance monkey thing, and I've never had a problem being the shaved dance monkey inside of that specter. Now it's a little different. Like I kind of have to comb my hair with a hat, and it's like, and that's a little bit of my own personal vanity because it just feels awkward, whenever you got the thin hair and all that crap that comes with age. But also, it's just a respect for the audience to do the best they can to look not too bummish. But then we transitioned from that 80s, 90s, flair style to when grunge came in and everybody just started wearing plaid and staring at their shoes. It, it just, yeah, it just wasn't good. It just wasn't fun. Music aside, wherever your taste is, that's fine. But whenever the look of the people on stage look more like they should be, and this is no respect to the janitorial staff, but when they look like they were just the janitorial staff and taking it over the stage, they took away the magic of entertainment. If that makes sense. Because I do. If I'm going to go see a show, I want to see a show. Show me a show, man. Like I've always made funny little jokes about like when I first met Toby Keith in his early days, and he had his blue, very very blue. It was like a navy blue, like one of the darker blues, sparkly jacket that he wore. It was like old school country, man. It was like it was sparkly. It was blue. He had his mullet, and and he was just doing his thing, but he looked the part. It's like when it comes like the performers up in Branson. I respect the ones who put on the show. You know what I'm saying? As far as like they look the part, they do it. And I have a lot of respect for that. I really do, because, whenever you're putting on the clown shoes to be the clown, guess what? You have to be a good clown. It's all part of the whole package of things. So anyway, but it's a fun and amazing time. Well, I was going to say that I'm hoping people see that objectively I say this, and I say this from a perspective, again, of being here for 18 years and having done a lot of things, that I'm going to piss so many people off. And I'm okay with it, because the ones who are going to get torqued off are the ones who deserve it. And hopefully, it's not to be mean, it's to hopefully shake them up. Match me, make me better, make you better by matching me. That sounds so boisterous, but I'm serious about it, because if you're in this space, this information entertainment space, then do your job. Do it. Period. And if you don't, get out of the way. It's, again, we are to create, not to compete. And I'm not looking to compete with anyone. But I do know that if you're not respecting the role that you're in when it has the impact that it does or should, step it up. Step it up. You just should. And the biggest thing about the Seville that makes me very excited is that inside of the Seville, and I found this to be very true, and I'm absorbing this, it truly is, especially with this vision and mission that's in play now, and turning it into a home for music, live music, and a place for people to go as a family and to enjoy that music and that healing power that comes from music. Now, it does, genre-wise, lean very heavy into country music, but it leans into that feeling of country music that came to kind of almost an abrupt stop about 2002, 2003, because everything from that point forward, it changed. And that's why I know, me, myself, and I, in 2002, I took a gig, taking me back out on the road, and took me down to Searcy, and I had been out of country music radio for a while. And I got back in and getting familiar with what the top 40 tunes were at the time. And I was like, this isn't fun anymore. It's not like it was, It's like the songs that were released, I can say pretty confidently, from 92 to about 97, 98, I know the lyrics to every single song. It just, they pop, they come on, boom, I know all the lyrics. Why? Because they worked. They did. And so boom, they're all there. But saying that, though, in this environment, this vision and mission that is what is the Hotel Seville complex, is that it's an island inside of this pond that is Harrison, and then the ocean that is Boone County and the rest of the region. It is. It's like, I can't. That's the best way I can say it right now. When you walk in there, and you go enjoy what's happening, be it the food, be it like a karaoke night, or be it the live band on Saturday, any of those things, or you're coming out to do the painting with Deborah, or any of the other stuff that's going on. It is an island into itself. And then when you walk out the door, it's not, it's really contained. Like last night, because the best part is I go because I want to more than I have to, because I don't have to. What? I don't have to. There's things right now in the process that I have to do for me to be able to do what I'm doing. But on the whole, nah, I'm not punching a clock, man. I don't have an office set up that I have to concern myself with. I just do what I do, however and wherever I do it. But Caitlin really enjoys the karaoke thing. Why? Because in its infancy, in her infancy, as she was watching and observing, and then she started singing, and then she just naturally developed inside of that. So it gives her the opportunity to do that and to perform. She's got ambitions, not delusions of grandeur. And I think I can say this openly because she's pretty open about it, is in the past year now, she's picked up a bass, and the bass guitar, for whatever reason, has turned into her thing, So she practices religiously, daily, and I'm proud of that, because she would like to see herself become that working musician, to where it's like, and I respect that a lot. She doesn't have delusions of grandeur. She sees it as what it is, as far as a career choice, and being the versatile bassist who can go do the thing. And like I said, she's got a solid voice that is multi-genre. She's so funny like that. I'm so proud of the way her musical influences are. I mean, she will literally go from Like, she'll knock out like a Marilyn Monroe's version of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend all the way up to Måneskin. You know, that whole wide, just ginormous library of musical tastes and influence. And I'm very proud of that. I really am, that she's become that way. Yeah, and see, and again, it's like competition. See, and that's the thing, the word competition versus competitor versus competition. Now, the competition thing I think is healthy and wonderful. But to compete as a direct verb is where the problem comes. You know, first off, create what you do. Just do it. And be the best you can be in doing what you do as your creation, right? But then when you've got someone who's in the same space who are hell bent on knocking you out of the chair, but when someone's trying to knock you out of the chair, intentionally, with not their creation, but with trying to just take you out, that's when it becomes that compete thing versus competition. Because in that competition space, you're battling to have your creation shine. And hopefully your creation is something that improves upon someone else's life, right? Again, people buy help. Now that's a hard sell slogan, right? People buy help. But in that, it's the truth, because you spend your money with things that make your life better. Otherwise, you keep your money in your pocket. Or if you do put your money into things that you think are going to help, but then they don't help because of misrepresentation or poor delivery, well, you get a little jaded, and understandably so. So, and that's where when someone is trying to be you versus just being in that space and not being themselves, it falls flat for them every time, every single time. And again, this is what I learned and didn't know I was learning so well in the early days of my radio career. Was, again, we were all vying for the radio book, right? We were all looking to win that Arbitron, man, get that hour, get the ratings and all that stuff. And it was important for sales. That's what it was important for, which is true. I mean, that's how we paid the bills, right? And I look back, and it really became fun. There were certain aspects inside of a station where they would be more cutthroat, but that wasn't my problem. My problem was who was on the air directly opposite of me from 7 to midnight, right? Or in the mornings or whenever. And I knew that my show needed to be top flight to get people to come in and enjoy and have fun and want to not, and just rip off the knob and beat on the dash, right? And the guy across the street, that should have been his goal too. And back in those days, it normally was. And so it would be one of those things, loyal fan bases, they could swing on each other all day long. But the people on air, be cool and just do your show. And it was a good, healthy thing. It was a healthy competition. And then, you know, there would be stupid things that we would do. One of the dumbest, funniest things that I ever did, and I thought it was brilliant. Well, I don't know what it was. Probably what it was stupid. I was young. I didn't care. But anyway, that was back in the days of bumper stickers, right? There was this one particular day at Kissin 96 FM that our competitors across town, KDUK 100, had to come by the station and pick up some promotional material from Keebler. There was like some big promotion that Keebler was doing, and so you would get the thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there were some things from Keebler that were used for this radio promotion that you would use outside at events and remotes and stuff like that, and it just got passed from station to station. Okay, that was a nice cooperative thing. But the people from KDUK came over to pick that up, and I saw an opportunity. So, what was the opportunity? The big push for Kissin 96 FM in Little Rock was their bumper sticker campaign that had been going on for a long time. And it was great, KSSN, Kissin 96 FM. And their bumper sticker and the branding was, you know, Kissin in my car. And that was on the bumper sticker, and had the station logo and everything. And it was cute, it was brilliant, and it worked for a long time. Anyway, I thought it would be fun and funny, and for me it was at the time, even though some people got mad later, and that means it really worked. Anyway, when the KDUK people came up, I got one of the Kissin' in My Car bumper stickers, and they happened to be in one of the KDUK vans, and I put the Kissin' in My Car bumper sticker on the KDUK van, right? And it went for a good 2 weeks before anyone really paid attention that it was on there, right? But I would do a shout out on air saying, hey, remember, every time you see that Kissin' in My Car bumper sticker, let them know you love them, give them a honk, you know, you're part of the team. And people started doing that. And so you would, there would be, it was just funny. It was just one of those things. It's like not everybody really got the joke so much, but whenever that kissing or that KDUC vehicle was somewhere and they had that kissing to my car bumper sticker, and people would honk their horn and blare about how much they loved kissing too during live remotes on KDUC 100. That was funny to me. It went, like I said, it went for a very a good run. I mean, 2 weeks is a very good run of doing something stupid like that, and they got pissed. Even the folks that the management at Kissing wasn't terribly thrilled with what I did, but I don't care. It was funny to me. Talk good about me, talk bad about me, just talk about me, right? And that one was fun. I really enjoyed that. But alas, the days of bumper stickers on vehicles are long gone. People would not want to pollute and screw up their cars now with that sort of thing. And but boy, I'm glad they did back then because I had a ball. That was just funny. That was one of the funny, stupid human tricks I did back then, and it was just great. It really was. 35 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour. It's 34, so we got a little cool again out there. But I don't know. I'm not even paying. I'm not paying. I'm so not paying attention to pretty much anything right now, other than what I'm focusing in on with the Seville, and it's actually an easier existence. But at the same time, I peek my head up, sort of like a groundhog, to kind of look around, see what's going on. And I got to tell you, we are in a place as a nation and a world that is batshit crazy. Kind of opened it up with that, right? Talking about the whole Joe Biden clone thing that they're saying, oh yeah, no, that really happened. What? Or the stand-ins with the masks and all that. But then again, I mean, there's interesting and compelling arguments for that, and it's not unprecedented to have stand-ins for world leaders, because sometimes you just got to do that for sometimes for safety and security aspects, or whatever. But the thing is like certain aspects are just so creepy because like I mean, and I don't care to go into the debate, the argument, like, well, it was just because of this that it looked like that. No, I mean, when the guy gets visibly taller and then shorter, there's something to that. And then when it comes to the demonstrations of like the masks that can be made now, that are made now, that look incredibly realistic, and it is not beyond the realm of possibility and plausibility to have a mask that would look like anyone you wanted it to and perfectly form fit someone else's face, and you'd never know the difference. And now with the AI technology online, so if you could do that in the physical, and now you've got this online matrix space that we're all living in a lot. We just are. Here we are right now. It's interesting to know that these things can happen. Now, the motives as to why and who put things in place, because some of it was just too blatantly stupid as it was happening in real time. Watching that, but again, that's all part of the public discussion now, or public distraction, I should say. And it's interesting times. And what I've seen from, I guess it was yesterday, and I guess the day before. Anyway, the hearings that are going on with the e-files, with members of the Trump administration coming to testify in regards to things being redacted, not redacted, stories not adding up. Yeah, exactly. So back in the Mission Impossible TV show from the 60s, here we are. The whole pull the mask off thing, Scooby-Doo even. But no, the things that are out there now and watching what's going on in these hearings, this is not politics at this point. If you're paying attention, this is not which team are you on, because all teams in this game are absolutely ate up. And it's been proven over and over again. And the thing is anyone who trusts one team right now and you're saying you're better than the other team, man, you better plug in quick and understand that, again, it's the two wings on the same bird type thing for real. Because I'll never trust any on the one side at all. They've already blown their credibility. The name I'll name there is like Adam Schiff, the designated liar for the first Trump administration, where I've never seen anyone who could lie like he did and does. Never seen anything like it. The guy, I mean, literally, he could tell you the sky was green and be completely committed to that lie all day long. And then on the other side of the aisle, we'd say the team that I was rooting for, I watched them collapse in their credibility. And with Pam Bondi's testimony, I've never seen anything like it. And I'm saying it out loud because, again, this is no longer politics. This is watching people who are supposed to be in charge of things. But the Pam Bondi testimony yesterday is truly the most insane thing I think I have ever seen. How dare I say even a representation of evil. because it's like out of a bad movie. You know, it's like the Jack Nicholson scene. You know, and was it A Few Good Men? Or yeah, A Few Good Men. You know, you can't handle the truth. It's like it's just it's insane because the way from a question being answered to way or yeah from the way the question was framed, it wasn't even the normal gotcha political positioning of a question. It was pretty straightforward. It's like, okay, here's this fact right here, and you did this fact right here, documented, video, written everywhere, right? The person in their own words saying something that, okay, backed it all up. But then for the witness testifying, going completely apeshit, batshit crazy when it came to the response. Oh, well, now that's, well, but the Dow Jones is 50. That has nothing to do with this. Why are you doing this? This goes beyond gaslighting. It's insane, especially to where it's like, I mean, it's the most illogical thing I've ever seen. Like, when you look at, like, well, any of it, it doesn't matter. It's totally nuts. I've never seen anything like this. And so there's some other things that have been transpiring. One thing in particular, and I'll go ahead and just say it as it is. I don't really care. Ban me, YouTube, whatever, shadow, whatever. But there was the one commission that was put together to discuss anti-Semitism in the States. And in this commission hearing, I think it may have been late, excuse me, in the week last week or the beginning, Monday maybe, of this week, because it's already Thursday. Anyway, but when the question was posed in regard to someone, and I do not remember her name, but she's on the commission. She proclaimed herself to be a Catholic. No problem there, fine. But when she posed the question, is that with her belief system and Catholicism being one that is pretty anti-Zionist, right? Which Zionism, I'm sorry, everything about it is a political party and political ideology. It has nothing to do with religion, but it's tied to a religion, right? But she posed the question of, is being, you know, a non-supporter of Zionism, does that make you anti-Semitic? And it was a very clear, she wasn't heated in it when she initially posed the question. It was, I would feel, a legitimate question because the way they throw that out, if you don't disagree, if you don't agree with that particular side, then you're anti-Semitic is what you're labeled with. But she posed the question asking, well, since we do not believe in Zionism, does that make us anti-Semitic? Which the answer was yes, which it should not. I don't care. Your politics and your religion are separate, period. But they labeled her anti-Semitic because of what she asked. Okay? Now, when I saw that, I was like, okay, if they come at her with the pitchforks, there's a bigger problem here. And what happened? They came at her with the pitchforks and kicked her off of the commission, saying that she was inciting anti-Semitism. That's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. And for that to be allowed to remove her from this commission that's studying religious freedoms, the game just got really, really messed up because that means there's a bias toward one thing and one thing alone. That's scary to me because that type of conversation and verbiage getting slapped down with consequence like that when it's supposed to be looking at it from a neutral lens. Nope. But I've watched, and this is the one that's like very disturbing to me because like watching the analysis from the ACLJ, not the ACLU, the ACLJ, which is just a private thing anyway. It's like anything else with Jay Sekulow and those guys. But the way they put both feet in her, saying that I watched the thing myself, my own eyeballs. 2 plus 2 is still 4, ass. It's not 2, not 5. So, but I'm watching them attack her and finding little things like she had a pro-Palestinian lapel pin and she was defending Muslims and everything. Number one, she didn't defend anybody. She just said that she would appreciate if they didn't have anti-Muslim attacks. She already confirmed and professed her Catholic faith, okay? So, hello, this is a discussion about religious freedoms. But they, in their little podcast, went all in on attacking her because of those things. That's a dangerous time. because we're really doing and have had done to us bad things with the First Amendment that goes beyond just the usual talking points about it, to where like, well, you can't say this because it's hurtful, blah blah blah. But when you look at what is happening and what is being said in these official commissions and investigations and committees and all this other dog and pony show stuff, and people are getting slapped down for simply asking a question and being labeled as inciting something by asking a question that I saw as very neutral. It was a very neutral question. She wanted an answer. It's fair because, okay, let's look at it like this: if you, if there is a problem that people say is happening, okay, that that people are discriminating against green M&Ms, okay, so we establish what the problem is. The problem is people are discriminating against green M&Ms. All right, so now no one wants to do that. No one wants to offend the green M&M. We want to have everybody in the bag happy, right? So everybody's getting along, all the different multicolored M&Ms. But the green ones, for whatever reason, we're getting slapped around. All right, well, let's find out, what can we do? Here's the questioning. What do we do to make sure that the green M&Ms don't get slapped around anymore? You know, mindfully, right? So when you ask that green M&M, what is offending you right now, green M&M? And green M&M, in a logical world, would say, here's the problems, 1, 2, 3. And then you go, okay, we'll make a note. Can we adjust to make sure that we're not doing this to the green M&M anymore, gang? So we're all just getting along in the bag. And that's reasonable, I would say, to understand the problem, to where you can see where you can adjust or where you can't. That's what she did. She was asking the question, all right, now, green M&M, if I say this about you, or I believe this about you, does this make me automatically truly against you at my core? She wasn't trying to demonize the green M&M. She was trying to understand the green M&M and the position. But the funny thing is, the green M&M wasn't really part of the conversation. It was being used as part of the conversation to support something else that was actually a Skittle. But the Skittle was acting like it was acting on behalf of the green M&M. Skittle is not in that bag. It's in its own other bag over here. And for that, she was kicked off a commission about religious freedoms by trying to understand things and define them directly, so that if things were to happen to the green M&M, that it could be addressed directly. But instead, the Skittle decided that it was going to be the intermediary. And if you don't like the Skittle and what it's saying, then you're obviously against the green M&M. When it's none of the Skittles' damn business. But they put themselves in that role. Boy, that's quite the analogy and metaphor, I guess. But I'm really happy with that one, actually, because I think that makes more sense than anything else. And maybe using that type of wordage can help open eyes. Because either way it goes, whether it's an M&M multicolored or a Skittle multicolored, we're on the same blue marble. All of us are riding in this spaceship. I don't know. All I can say, I like to just grab a handful of M&Ms and I don't really look at the color. I think if you're separating the colors of your M&Ms for particular reasons, you've got OCD issues. So I got to have the blue in a pile here, green here, brown there, red there, yellow there. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. So with all that said, it's 8:48. I'm going to wrap this thing up this morning. Damien, thank you for joining me for coffee. Hopefully I'll run across you at the lunchtime stuff, because I'm not sure where I know what I'm doing today. I got a couple places to be, not necessarily at the same time, but kind of, sort of at the same time. But anyway, I'm going to sign off and do this thing. I'm going to roll out once again with the Biden Clone Country Jam, because damn it, that's funny to me. And I like funny, and we need more funny in our lives. Because again, it's a big old pack of M&Ms on a spaceship. That's who we are. I think I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. Now one thing, I do believe there's going to be a t-shirt that I am going to put together and put out, just because it's funny. I was actually over at Backstreet Trader getting back up to date and checking in with Rick and Shirley Schoenberger over there because they just got back from vacation, and I love those two to death. They're truly my most favorite folks here in town, and they are just great. Anyway, but as we were talking, and then a phrase popped out of my mouth, and Rick said, "Yeah, that needs to be on a T-shirt." Is "Don't be stupid." That's my rallying. That's my rallying cry for any and all things. Don't be stupid. Stop the stupid. Don't be dumb. Stop the dumb. It ain't hard. It's really not. Anyway, let's roll out with some Biden clones, and we'll do it again in the morning, and hopefully I'll see you guys around lunchtime over at the Grill at the Seville.
Yeah. I open up my phone for rain, got tinfoil in my face. His earlobes change, just smiling right, that ain't the same. A fella drew a circle around a blurry TV screen. Yeah, plum, it's a coupon code for Truth Machine. Is he Joe? Is he Bo? Is he version 2.0? Internet said, son, at this point, I'd not let it go. Deep fake, cheat, take, everybody's getting bold. We don't need proof no more. We just need something to scroll. Clip says Biden Classic, next one says Biden Light. Then Biden Pro Mac Turbo showing up by Saturday night. Somebody swears they saw him blinking robot time. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to grill and keep my time in line. Is he Joe? Is he Bo? Is he version and 2.0? Internet said, son, at this point, why not let her go? Deep fake, cheat, take, everybody's getting bold. They don't need proof no more. They just need something to scroll. His face and folks scream hologram. Camera angle changes and it's body double male. If he causing signal loss, if he laughs at CGI, if he weighs with 2 hands, well buddy, so did I. We got truth by screenshot, facts by fit. Source my buddy's Barbaretta, post and filtered hit. If reality don't sparkle, they add a little spice. Cause panic pays and clicks pay twice. Is he Joe? Is he Bo? Is he version 2.0? Internet said, son, at this point, why not let her go? Deep fake, cheap take, everybody's getting bold. We don't need proof no more. We just need something to scroll.